Alright, already in week 2 of the DPRM Draft League, and this week's coming one is Mega Excadrill, so everyone's got a fucking spinner this time around. And we've got the new boy with Piercing Drill, which is kind of a useless ability. They could have just given it, I mean, maybe Sandra should have been kind of cracked on it, might have been too good, but I would have still rather have had Mold Breaker. I guess Piercing Drill is kind of cool. You can run things like high horsepower to get through because Piercing Drill only works on contact moves, right? So you could run high horsepower, albeit weaker, only slightly, but you do have a chance of missing. However, you at least can go through protect, but you only do 25% of the damage or whatever. Like, it's basically a shittier version of Unseen Fist. I don't know how Game Freak can get even more uncreative with these abilities, but yeah. We both have Weavile, funnily enough, and I think my Weavile is very good here. However, I was playing around with a bunch of different mons in Weavile's slot, because Florges was good initially since they had a Tyrantrum, but then they made trades and they got Glaring Slowbro, so it was like, okay, Florges isn't needed anymore and isn't particularly good. Lycanroc Dusk would be good, for the Araquanid, just to get rid of the webs. I could do Taunt Lead again. Also good into the Emolga and the Chandelure. I was playing around with Spadef Lycanroc with Citrus Berry. Since I don't really have a Chandelure switch in, Chandelure absolutely cooks my team. Especially since the good thing is I think it will be, it's like a double-edged sword, because Chandelure is the best Scarfer they have, and it's faster than my Diggersby, which is also a very good Scarfer here. So it sucks that it will be faster than my Scarfer. However, at least it won't be able to switch moves. So, you win some, you lose some. Aegislash is obviously good. I think this one just always comes regardless of the matchup, even when there's two ground types. A ground type that can break through its Protect, and a Chandelure with a fucking, what's it called? 2 stabs to hit me for super effective. Venusaur, it's only 2 weeks in, but I'm already learning something about Venusaur. I think, more particularly in the Champions OU meta, which is that it can always function as a Sunsetter for itself and can always do something, because its coverage is so good that it will always be able to hit a good number of mons on the other team, possibly even every single mon on the other team, and it's got good enough bulk to take a hit and be able to just add speed. It's 80 speed tier with +2 is fast enough to outspeed almost everything. And the good thing is with the item cuts, it means there aren't many ways for things to outspeed you, and also the item clause means there's only going to be one Scarfer on every team anyways, so it's pretty good. But yeah, this is against GZE, who's a very, very, very good player. I've faced them multiple times in university drafts, in basically in any UK university draft type thing. And yeah, they're a very good player. But let's get on to the actual team. Had to start off with my boy, the tried and true Diggersby though, with Choice Scarf. Earthquake hits literally everything except Araquanid and Emolga. I have Stone Edge for both of those guys, and Ice Punch for the Garchomp, and then U-turn just for pivoting. Only need this much speed to outspeed anything relevant, because I'm 78 speed tier, so I can't outspeed their base 80s anyways. And then I put the rest in defense, just in case I need to live a +2 Ice Shard from Weavile, or just Ice Shard from Weavile, right? So yeah. And then I have Slowbro. This can always come in on Weavile for one time. If it clicks Knock on my switch-in, I'll be able to live the next one and body press it. If you click Swords Dance, I'll be able to live the +2 knockoff as well and click with body press. And then I have Scald to hit Chandelure, Garchomp, anything really. The Trick Room is just in case, you know, they get the webs up. I can at least flip the matchup on them and outspeed them in Trick Room. Also, it is a kind of insurance against Chandelure, a Scarf Chandelure, because a Shadow Ball endgame is very possible, and I've EV'd the Slowbro to be basically physically defensive because I needed to beat that, but the 7 in Spidef lets it live a Shadow Ball from full, so I can Trick Room and, you know, avoid a Choice Scarf Shadow Ball endgame cooking me basically, and then slack off for recovery, because unfortunately this guy doesn't learn Teleport, as I learned after draft was done, or well, I learned during Grace, but like I couldn't really make any more trades, and I just settled on the Slowbro because I needed the Fizdef. We have Aegislash. Champions OU is really just Resist Berry Roulette. You know, Cold Burrow and Slowbro, Sugar Berry and Aegislash, because of the 2 grounds that I'm facing. Close Combat to hit the Weavile and the Excadrill mainly. Poltergeist is good into everything, a good mid ground. Like, Poltergeist is kind of weird because it's really nice to have it on Aegislash, but in a metagame with Champions OU where you have item claws, you're very likely to come up against Pokemon which are, you know, have a one-time use item, so you might not be able to hit them after with Poltergeist. But I do have Ironhead for that, you know. Say Gardevoir is Focus Sash, say Gardevoir is, I don't know, Cassie Berry or some shit like that, or Citrus. Then I can at least hit it with Ironhead, and Ironhead's good at, you know, a lot of things. I was debating like a move to hit Araquanid, but Poltergeist is still good into it. So yeah, and this was gonna be my likely lead into everything, because the Sugar Berry means that none of the grounds can outright Oko me. It means that I can at least hit Araquanid at the start with the Poltergeist, and, you know, if it's Focus Sash, then I can hit it with the Ironhead or Close Combat anyways. When it's on 1, so yeah, King's Shield obviously, because King's Shield is great, and what's it called? So these defense HP and defense EVs let me live a what's it called? A Earthquake from Excadrill. So yeah, and also Garchomp. I think also I can live a hit from Chandelure, so that's nice. However, I don't think they're gonna lead Chandelure immediately. Especially like if I lead like a Sash Weavile or something like that. I think Aegislash, and so because of that reason, I think Aegislash is good into every single other lead that they can bring. So yeah, and then we have Excadrill, which we both have to bring. I just went, you know, with max HP, with max speed, max attack, just to speed tie with their Excadrill, Earthquake to hit everything. I honestly, I completely forgot that this guy learned high horsepower, and I also didn't put 2 and 2 together that I could use high horsepower with piercing drill, so I could, you know, hit through protect. But I mean, they don't have like a Pokemon like Aegislash, which is almost always gonna run some sort of protect, you know, King's Shield, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Rock Blast, just to break any sort of sashes, sort of like Rock Slide, and then Spin, obviously. And then we have Weavile with Never Melt Ice. This is just so that I can get through Yachi Berry stuff, I can Swords Dance and do a lot more to opposing Weavile, do a lot more to anything really, because even things that resist it like Araquanid or Blastoise will still take a lot from Apply to Triple Axle, and the Never Melt Ice means that I could just click Triple Axle as a sort of mid-ground into anything. And then obviously Ice Shard, and the Never Melt Ice is also because I like found it hard to fit Low Kick on here for the opposing Weavile, so yeah. And then we have Venusaur. Now this is my Blastoise insurance because, oh well, also so with the Chandelure very likely being Scarf, I can at least have Weavile here. So I had Lycanroc with like Spidef EVs and shit like that, but I figured they have 2 ground types. It's kind of hard, like it's very easy for Lycanroc to get punished here. So let me just go for the Weavile. It can at least switch into a Shadow Ball from Chandelure or an Energy Ball. So there is that. and you know, if they lock themselves into a move which isn't a fire move, then Weavile can come in and always revenge kill, so I can take advantage of that. And then I have Venusaur, and this is my Blastoise insurance, because Blastoise can destroy my whole team. Dark Pulse, Surf, Ice Beam, Earthquake, mixed set, physical set, special set, anything really. But the thing that they hit Venusaur the most with will be an ice move, obviously. So I can always bring this guy in immediately on a Blastoise, or I could just, I can bring this guy in, and I can either, I could Sunny Day, right? Like I could Sunny Day, live the ice move with the Yache Berry, even with no HP investment, and then I can kill back with a Leaf Storm. And also I'm always faster than Blastoise because it is 78 speed and I'm 80 speed, so yeah. And then Earth Power for the Chandelure, for the Slowbro Galar, for the Excadrill, and then I have Sludge Wave to hit Weavile, to hit Gardevoir, Araquanid, all those guys. The Leaf Storm is mainly for Blastoise. I wanted to run Solar Beam, but I figured if I end up in a situation where I can't click Sunny Day, then I would much rather have Leaf Storm into Blastoise. So yeah, that is the team. Let's get into the game. This is how we both lined up. They brought the Excadrill, obviously, Slowbro Galar, which can be a menace, Blastoise, which is expected, Chandelure, very expected, obviously, and then Garchomp and Weavile. So pretty standard for them. I don't think there's anything that stands out here. I think they did end up bringing the best 6 mons into me. Guess there's a case for Gardevoir, but not really. Oh, there is no Araquanid, however, which I guess, to be fair, it is hard to fit Araquanid here. And also there is the Lycanroc threat, but I was still kind of surprised by that, and also relieved by the fact that I didn't have to deal with that. So yeah, like I said, I was always going to lead Aegislash here, and that is what I did. They led the Excadrill. I was going to lead Scarf Diggersby, because I figured I can always U-turn on things, or, you know, Ice Punch into Garchomp, or Earthquake into anything else. But I figured, let me just go with the Aegislash. It's like the safe lead, I guess. So I did that. They bring in the Excadrill, and like I said, I completely forgot that this thing can run high horsepower with Piercing Drill to ignore my King's Shield. But so first turn I expected them to switch, so I went for the Poltergeist midground on their SD. Here I'm thinking, oh shit, I know I have a Sugar Berry, but I'm pretty sure Adamant can kill. Or that's what my CALCDEX was telling me, but I learned in this game that CALCDEX is a big fucking liar. I mean, I learned that every game, but this game it really lied to me a lot. But yeah, I clicked King's Shield here because I don't expect high horsepower, right? It's like it's not in my head. It's like it wasn't a thought that ever crossed my mind during the time of this game. Thankfully, they click Earthquake, so it seems like they also didn't think of high horsepower. And then I actually live with this Sugar Berry, my goat, what's it called? Aegislash, and I just CC him. And they bring in the Garchomp. Here I predict them to just get hazards up, so I click Poltergeist, and I miss. And I'm like, okay, well, fuck, I can't really switch into anything, so I'll just click Poltergeist again. They get Spike Up, and I miss again. Aegislash went from the goat to the fucking, I don't know, the trash. I was gonna say Foat, but that makes no sense. So I had to bring in the Weavile just to kill the Garchomp with Triple Axle. And I think they bring in the Blastoise. I was like, okay, let me knock off this White Herb, because this very likely White Herb, possible White Herb, and I do that. They Shell Smash. I just let the Weavile die because I'm thinking, realistically I should have gone into the Venusaur because I always live, and I wouldn't have needed to get rid of the... thinking about it now, I shouldn't have done that with the Weavile, because I would have had him on in the back. Even if they clicked Ice Beam with Blastoise, I would have been faster and Leaf Stormed. And if they Shell Smash, then I still live and kill them back with Leaf Storm. So that's a misplay from me. But yeah, here I click Sunny Day on the Yache Berry, and then I think because of the knocked off by her, but meant that Sludge Wave killed them. So I just click Sludge Wave. And they bring in this Quick Draw, Quick Claw, Slowbro Galar. Gets the Quick Draw, Quick Claw, kills me. I bring this guy into Spin, or Earthquake, I can't remember what I clicked. But they get the Quick Draw again, which is pretty fucking annoying. And here I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm fucked. Like, Diggersby can do it, but my CALCDEX was telling me that Weavile lives Earthquake from fall. I don't know why it was telling me that, because apparently that was a fucking lie. But yeah, here I was just hoping that, yeah, I was hoping that the Slowbro Galar doesn't proc Quick Claw, Quick Draw. Thankfully it doesn't. However, I'm still kind of screwed because, so CALCDEX told me that my own Slowbro was, because of the second spike, which the Garchomp got because I missed Poltergeist twice, it told me that because of the second spike, Shadow Ball killed me, or Energy Ball killed my Slowbro, so I couldn't, so I didn't have an out there, and it told me that Weavile lived in EQ at full from Diggersby, and it also told me that my Diggersby can't live a fire hit from a Chandelure, a fire blast from a Chandelure, because of the second spike. They bring in the Chandelure, it is Scarf, but they miss the Will-O-Wisp. This might be the luckiest and unluckiest game ever. So apparently the Fire Blast didn't actually guarantee kill, it was a roll, and I think it was a roll in my favour, so they went for the safer Will-O-Wisp play. Or it might have been a roll in their favour to kill, but it was lower than the 85% chance of Will-O-Wisp landing. So they went for the Will-O-Wisp. Thankfully they didn't have Energy Ball, which I think would have just possibly won them the game. But I mean, yeah, the luckiest, unluckiest game ever, because I missed 2 Poltergeists on the Garchomp, and they get the 2 spikes up, but they missed the Wisp here, and I kill this guy, and they bring in the Weavile, and I kill him to my own surprise, and then I'm like, okay, oh my god, fuck. Diggersby though, he did it, my boy, he got the fucking Scarf endgame, my goat. So, I was over the moon after that game because I couldn't believe my eyes. CALCDEX lied out of its fucking ass like 10 million times. Diggersby just killed everything, and yeah, ended up winning the game when I thought I was fucking cooked. So, you know what? That's a lesson right there. Don't give up, kids, and don't do drugs. Goodbye.